But either way, we're trying to show the soul of this organization. The point is to really let the high school, the kids that are involved with this, know why I think it's important or why it is important. My daughter was filling out an application for college while I was filling out an application for Peace Corps. So at 50, good grief, that's pretty old, I went to the Peace Corps in Gueoul, Senegal, and I was there for 2 years. And it was a nice little adventure, and after the 2 years and some more time, I went back and practiced another 15 years. What I was doing was sending a small amount of money back to keep a couple of girls in school that had been in the house that I was living in when I was there in the Peace Corps. And there's a sense of serendipity to this whole story. It's like this story wanted to happen, and things kept happening. So in 2005, that year, we started the organization. And the idea was vague. Yeah, we're going to keep girls in school. And we thought, well, let's give the girls $100 a year as a scholarship. And let's choose the poorest girls in town. And so that we will reach the kids who are not reached. Those are the girls that really can get married at age 12, 13, 14. And they're the girls who will be pulled out. They may start school, but they'll be pulled out to come home and help Mama. So we did that for several years, and we set up a program where the equivalent of a parent-teacher association, you can imagine this, out in the town of Gueoul, they had an open and transparent process for choosing 2 girls from each of the 5 small elementary schools to get the scholarship each year. So each year we're adding 12 kids, okay? We've reached 157 girls now. Now, I can't say we entered this with a grand plan, but the next step always became clear to us. And to have that retention rate in Africa, girls, Muslim, is off the charts amazing. Well, you wonder, what did we do? And I would say we made it up as each idea came up. My philosophy, it has been strengthened by this, is that Americans want to plan ahead and do visioning studies and practical studies and stuff like that. Instead, we had a react to the moment thing, and we have ever since we started. And because of that, we were not bound by long-term planning. And that's not American, and that's why that works there. I don't know what happens to them when they graduate, but I do know what happens to them if they don't graduate. Nothing. They need to go to school. That's the only way they have a chance. If you take all the countries in the world and rank them, from those that are prosperous, that are tops economically, and where there is rights of individuals, read women's rights, and you just put this in a list till you get to the bottom. And then you take another list and you list the countries by failed economies and by troubles and by terrorism and stuff like that, and put these side by side. This is the let's see, how's this one? This is the best, and this is the most terrorist. Those 2 lists almost are parallel, and that is really interesting, because when the women are unempowered, it means that the women haven't brought their influence into the universe, into that universe, and that this is where terrorism and things like that are arising. The way they do Muslim out there feels, in spirit, like what I grew up with in Kansas and Nebraska. They care for each other. The day is spent greeting and making contact with people. The word that you really need to have big on this, printed, said over and over, is the word says Jam. Jam means peace. Jam means have peace. And that's everything. They stop and greet each other. How are you? I have peace. How's your family? They're in peace. Over and over again.